Okay, great. So I believe all of us, we are all well, wherever we are. So yeah, welcome to pose our first class this semester for public finance and taxation. I know some of us, at least, we've met on the other classes. Maybe those who are only taking tax probably is when you're meeting for the first time this semester. Yeah. And as I've always said, I'm always a believer. Yeah, I believe in God, and I'm always proud saying that a lot. So at all times, I usually want to commit each and every session that we are starting for the semester. I usually commit it to our Maker. And that's why even this class, before even we start anything, we want to pray to God to grant us his favor. We want to pray to God to grant us his mercies. We pray for good health. And we also pray for wisdom and light during this semester so that he will protect us against any form of what? Evil or barriers that might come in play. So this is our prayers that God to lead us through this semester as we'll be looking at public finance and taxation. So, looking at PFT and taxation, you'll find that these are very interesting. These are very, very interesting unit. Why? Because number one, PFT is very practical, and other than it being practical, you'll also realize that public finance and taxation, as it is something that will always be applying it on a practical manner every now and then. So making it, of course, one of the most practical paper that we do have, more so here at intermediate level. So you'll find that looking at PFT, in this case, it is a unit that I'll want us always to take it very positive. And also, it is coming, this PFT is coming the day that CPA results have been released. And yeah, we're so happy as a team. For those who have received the results so far, yeah, things are very, very positive. Yeah, things are very, very positive. And these are what keeps us, of course, going. And the reason why we'll always want to keep our class at least to the minimal number, because we know very well that this engagement is not only just for exams, but also at least for us to get that practical knowledge. That is what we've always been doing, and the same case that we're going to do. So for so far, the results are very, very positive. And I also believe I'll be saying that January, when you guys will be joining advanced level, for those who are doing all the papers, probably intermediate, or who will be taking, of course, the papers for the next level intermediate. So yeah, things are positive, very positive for those who have received the results so far. Those who are just here last semester, who are doing the same paper last semester. So that shows that even us, yeah, we're going to celebrate with you next time. Introducing public finance and taxation, we have two segments. We have public finance and we have the taxation part. You realize that we are looking at two components, public finance, and we have the taxation part. See, so in our class, of course, you're going to look at them just the way they are. We're going to consider the area of public finance. Then we'll also be looking at the area of taxation. So you'll find that by the time we're through with advanced public finance and taxation, all of us we should be able at least to apply some of these concepts in the practical manner. At this point, my good sense, we have roughly 13 topics in public finance and taxation. And you're looking at how many months? Right now, where we're looking at almost 2.5 months, to be very precise. We're looking at 2.5 months, to be very, very precise. We're looking at 2.5 months. So what would be the best strategy? First of all, let us analyze what would be expected to cover. So whatever that would be expected to cover here, we've said we have two segments. You have the area of public finance and you have the area of taxation. We start with the area of public finance. This is part one. Public finance, we take it as the first segment because we said we have two segments, public finance and the area of taxation. You see? So looking at this point, in this case, we'll find that number one topic, we will be introduced to the sphere of our public finance area. And at this point, you're ready about what? Introduction to public financial management. So we have introduction to public financial management. So we have introduction to public financial management. This would be our first topic, being introduced to the world of public finance. And what will we be expected to cover here is just for us to be able to understand the nature of public finance, be able to understand the objective of Public Financial, of course, Management Act, talk about the budget process, as well as maybe the role of the National Treasury. So you'll find that looking at topic number one, it's just us being introduced to the world of public finance. So in this case, you'll find that 100% theory, topic number one. Check out topic number two. Topic number two, all will be required to understand or to learn here is how do the national governments, so talk about relates with the county. So talk about relationship between national and county governments, relationship between national, of course, and county governments, relationship between national and county governments. And county governments. And basically, this is in relation with budget and economic matters. So how do they relate? How do these two sphere of government relate with each other? That should take us to the other topic here, which we'll be talking about topic number three. So topic number three, we will be expected to cover the oversight function. Oversight function, of course, in public financial management. Oversight function in PFM, public financial management. Right now, of course, we understand more so in Kenya. Let me speak about Kenya. Like there are so many, of course, loopholes whereby probably the aspect of resources are not, or they are consumed in a whole inappropriate manner. So you'll find that yes, at this point, we are consuming these resources from public, of course, coffers. And what will happen? There must or there should be persons responsible to make sure that all these resources are utilized in a very efficient and, of course, economical manner, not in a sense that there are misuse. So in this case, it is this department that will be charged with responsibility of making sure that these items are consumed well. So you'll find that when we'll be talking about oversight, the whole idea will be looking at what are the roles of Auditor General? What are the roles of internal audit? What are the roles of controller of budget? What are the roles probably of parliamentary, of course, budget office? So you find that this aspect is literally very, very important. And you realize that whatever that we'll be looking at all these points, this purely practical, what affects us, of course, and what surrounds us. So you'll find that this area is more practical. And that's why when Mwalimu was started, we've mentioned that public finance and taxation is one of the unit that is very practical, more so at this level. We talk about topic number 4, where we normally talk about procurement in public entities. procurement, procurement in public entities, procurement in public entities. So this is also another monster when it comes to aspect of corruption in the government, and that's why you realize that our president is majorly pushing for aspect of e-procurement, which has been faced with a lot of resistance because, of course, there are always that aspect of a lot of loopholes in relation to the same. So procurement in public entities, you realize that the whole idea will be about the guidelines that should always tend to be followed. We read about the tendering process and maybe selection of suppliers in public sector. We'll also be talking about the concept of e-procurement. See, and this is what, of course, the president is trying to push as much as possible with a lot of resistance, but e-procurement will be one of the way that at least, even if at all is not going to eliminate 100% cases of corruption, but is going to reduce, because the most beautiful part with e-procurement, you'll find that we'll be having the digital trace in each and every transaction that's being done. We'll be having digital trace in each and every signature the person will be putting there. So you'll find that, again, procurement in public entities is also very practical. See, this one is, and if at all you relate, we are literally talking with things that are happening currently, ones that do surround us. So you'll find that, again, this is a very practical topic as well, aspect of procurement in public entities. We have another interesting topic here, topic number 5, where we'll be required to talk about public-private partnership arrangements, talk about public-private partnership, public-private partnership arrangements. See, public-private partnership arrangements. So you realize that commonly known as triple P, again, the whole idea behind the public-private partnership arrangement, you'll find that this is where the government will hold hands with the private sector, majorly to, of course, come up with projects that would be beneficial to the citizen or to the taxpayers as a whole. A good example, we have several examples of projects which has been undertaken using Triple P. Of course, the common one that we know, we have is GR. So faced with a lot of corruption, we have expressway here in Nairobi. In this case, there's that another public-private partnership, though it didn't went down well, where we are talking about JKA being taken by Adani, right? That one was also part of a Triple P arrangement. But of course, we know what happened. Yeah, we know what happened with the Adani deal. So you'll find that, again, this concept is more very practical. See, so these are things that do surround us. So we're looking at a case whereby government coming together with private entities, of course, to deliver on some projects which would benefit the citizens as a whole. So again, you'll find that looking at public-private partnership arrangement is also one of the most interesting topic that we'll be having. In this case, again, you'll find it to be more and more practical. At this point, we have topic number 6. And what will you be expected to cover in topic number 6? This is all about aspect to do with the public debt management. So we have public debt management. Public debt management. Yes, there are always these, if at all you were to term them, departments or bodies that are responsible to make sure that at least we are not surpassing a certain debt ceiling. Like, I know right now you hear about Kenya having, say, like more than 12 trillion as debt. You'll find that already you surpass this ceiling. So you'll find that there are these departments which are set in place to make sure that at least, as whenever you hear about public, ideally you hear about government. See, when you hear about public, in this case, you hear about what? Government. So we need to make sure that all these, if at all you're to term them resources or the debt that you're taking, they are properly utilized. If I told you to take debt for a specific project, then it should be done for that specific project. It should not be diverted to do other things or to go to some people's pocket. See, so you'll find that public debt management is also very practical because we need to look at this case. What are the sources of debts in Kenya? In this case, we also have to talk about probably management of debts, probably by county governments as well as national governments. What are some of the measures that you can take to adopt maybe to reduce public debt? See, all these are very practical. All these are very practical. So the area of debt is also very interesting part because you realize that we'll just be talking of things that do surround us. See, we'll just be talking of things that do surround us. So you'll find that this is part one of what we read about public finance and taxation. So the first 6 topics are literally for public finance purely. And the most interesting part, which I'm also very happy, is you'll find that looking at theory, it will be very easy for us to be able to do it, to summarize it. Looking at theory, it will be very easy for us to do it, to summarize it, because you'll find that the whole of this segment is actually theory. See, the whole of this segment is actually theory part. And when we are talking of theory, it doesn't mean that it's something that we should take lightly. It will be important for us to be considering some of these concepts, of course, in details as well. After we are done with public finance, which is a very interesting part, then we look at segment number 2. And segment 2 will now be talking about what? Taxation. So part 1 is public finance. I really hope I'm recording the class. Okay. So we have the other part here, which you're referring to as, of course, taxation now. See, taxation is the second part of what we are having here. So you're about public finance and you're having taxation. So the first 6 topics will be talking purely about what we are talking about as what? Public finance. So from topic number 7, in this case, looking at topic number 7, we are introducing taxation part. And the taxation part, number 1, of course, you must be introduced to this world. You must be introduced to this world. So about introduction, talk about introduction to taxation. We must be introduced to this world. So about introduction to taxation, whereby majorly we'll be talking about, of course, us being introduced to the world of taxation, understanding, of course, the taxation in types of tax, talk about classification of taxes, principles of optimal tax systems. So it is more of us being introduced to the world of taxation. See? Topic number 8 here, what will be expected to cover or understand. Now, in this case, we will be looking at one of the longest topic and where we are going to spend most of our time. This is the taxation of income of persons. Taxation over income of persons. Taxation of income of persons. So we are going to spend a lot of our time in topic number 8. We're going to spend a lot of our time in topic number 8. We're going to spend a lot of our time in topic number 8. Why? Because when it comes to computation, you realize that topic number 8, this is what has carried majority of the items that we'll be covering, because it is at this point that we'll be talking about employment income. It is at this point that we'll be talking about taxation of a partnership. It is at this point that we'll be talking about, of course, the concept to do with farming income. And majorly, we'll also be looking at the concepts of withholding taxes. So the number 8 is one of the most interesting topic that we'll be having, and also for the purpose of exams, when it comes to computation, then this area would be very critical. This area would be very, very critical. So after we are through with that, that should take us to number 9 topic. Number 9 topic, we normally look at it as investment allowances or capital allowances. So we are having topic number 9. We have investment allowances. See, investment allowances or capital allowances. So this is just a matter of us understanding the aspects of capital allowances, which Mwalimu will be explaining it. Again, we mark it with an asterisk. For the purpose of exams, it will never miss. For the purpose of exams, it will never miss. For the purpose of exams, this topic will never miss. That one I can assure you. Topic number 10, in this case, we'll be looking at now administration, of course, of a key element here, income tax procedures. Administration of course, income tax and tax procedures. Administration of income tax and tax procedures you see. So this is also another area that we will be considering, of course, to be able to understand how do we go about registration and the registration of taxpayers. When you hear about, of course, assessments, what are the types of assessments that we'll be looking at? When we hear about the voluntary tax disclosure programs, what will we be talking about? So you'll find that most of this area here, this is also theory. Majorly, that part is also theory. Looking at topic number 11, in this case, topic number 11 will be talking about, of course, administration of VAT. Administration of VAT. See, we read about administration of VAT. So, VAT, you'll find that these are just indirect taxes that we're talking about. So, for the purpose of exams and practicability, that topic will also mark it with an asterisk, indicating that that area will never miss, So that should take us to topic number 12. What about topic number 12? Understanding, of course, the customs taxes and excise taxes. Custom and excise taxes. Custom and excise taxes. These are what we should be able to understand. When you read about custom taxes and excise taxes, so that one is also 100% theoretical. Then also topic number 13. So topic number 13, in this case, we'll also be looking at miscellaneous. So these are simply, of course, miscellaneous. Talk about miscellaneous fees and levies. Miscellaneous fees and levies. Miscellaneous fees and levies. So, before we say that we are done with tax, these are the expected 13 good topics that will always be expected to look at. So you can see that according to our structure, we've said we have public finance and we have the taxation part. 100% theory, blend of computation and theory. Let us do this quick analysis. You realize that at this level, when you're talking about theory areas, we're looking at how many topics? Topic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're looking at 7. We're looking at 8. And we're looking at 9 topics. 9, actually that is 9 plus this one, 10. 7. See? This one is also basically theory. So in reality, where we are sitting is that almost, we're looking at the almost 10 topics to be precise. Theory. What does that tell you? It tells us that tax at this level, even for the purpose of exams, we have like almost 40% that will be tested will be purely theory. Will be purely theory. And the most beautiful part is for theory part at this level and what Mwalimu has prepared for us, you'll find it to be very interesting and also very easy to grasp. The theory that we have, plus, of course, what Mwalimu has prepared for us, you'll find that it will be very easy for us to go through it. So, what would be the best strategy that we have to employ? At this point, you realize that there are documents that Mwalimu has shared with us in the group. If I told you now, we are to consider of the strategy now to use. Let me see if at all I can fetch the document that I've shared. Now we're looking at the strategy because where we are sitting, and you guys, you can clearly see that we need to be very smart when it comes to, of course, looking at what you're supposed to cover. Because in reality, 13 topics, that one you must be smart for us to be able to say that at least we've done this, and we can literally say that we are comfortable on the same. So a moment here. I'm trying to fetch what I've shared in the group. There's that document that I've shared. I believe all of us, of course, we have the doc. Moment here. I want to show you something, of course, so that when doing this, at least we should be able to get to know. Sharing this document with us so that it's something that I want to, of course, explain so that you understand that, of course, the procedure or the best strategy that you're going to employ, which will help us a lot, which will help us a lot, which will help us a lot. So I believe you guys have confirmed that you have the document, right? I believe that you guys have confirmed you have the document in the group. I want us to confirm that we have the document in the group. Come on. So as I'm sharing this document, as it is loading, you'll find that, of course, how we are going to work it out, what Mwalimu wanted to show us, I have prepared very good notes for public finance, which in this case, I'll expect us to go through the area of public finance. What Mwalimu will be doing, Mwalimu will be explaining. See, instead of us putting the notes down, I've literally prepared these notes for us so that try to find the time, try to find at least time to go through them so that when Mwalimu is here in class, our task will just be a matter of what? A matter of just explaining the notes. So these notes, they are very good, and I know they are going to help us a lot. They are very good, and they are going to help us a lot. So this is what we have prepared. This is purely for public finance only, which I've literally explained each and every detail that we need to understand, all the way up to the last part, which is topic number 6. See, all the way up to topic number 6. So I've literally prepared this doc for us. Make sure that at least you go through it very well. Make sure that you go through the document very well. It will help us a lot. It will help us a lot. In addition, of course, I've also shared the aspect to do with theory Q&A, both for public finance as well as taxation. And why did Mwalimu share this early in advance? The reason why I've also shared these other parts in advance, if at all I can also share with us, so that I'm going to give you a strategy that you're going to use as you're doing your personal studies as well, maybe even before class. See. So let me open this document so that I can guide you. We want to employ the best strategy. See? So this is what you'll be having. This is what you'll be having. Number one, you have the notes here. See? Number one, you have the notes here. So Mwalimu will be using these two documents whereby we are looking at chapter number 1. This other document has, of course, the aspect. This is the tax part. Let me open the theory part for public finance. That is taxation theory and A for this taxation as well. Okay, that is taxation. I'll share tax twice. I'll have to share for public finance. So we'll be looking at, in a sense that we consider the first part in terms of our questions. We go back and check, of course, our theory. Like literally we'll be working with the notes and the question, the notes and the questions. Doing this, you'll find that by the time we reach probably towards the end of the semester, it is as if we'll have gone through the revisions when it comes to public finance. Say, when it comes to public finance, the most beautiful part is that for theory questions, they'll always be recycled. That's the most beautiful part. So in terms of questions, you'll find that they'll always be recycled. So with this brief and very good document that Mwalimu has shared with us, it will be very easy for us to clear this. So we'll be looking at the computation part. We go back to the theory. We start a class maybe like 30 minutes or 20 minutes to look at theory. We go back to our computation. So doing this within no time, you'll find that we'll be working all of these consecutively, and we'll clear all of them in advance. So what I'm going to request from us is basically, of course, cooperation, in a sense that try as much as possible, regardless of how limited time is. Try as much as possible to go through the notes. It will help us a lot. It will help us a lot. So that when you'll be looking at the area of taxation and majorly, the major parts, then you'll find that our tasks will always be very, very easy. So this is the area of what? This is the area of public finance. When it comes to taxation, this will be our strategy. This will be our strategy. Of course, number one item, we need to understand the whole history and the whole foundation of tax. So therefore, introduction to taxation, that is what we are going to start with, understanding every details when it comes to aspect of taxation. So once we are through with this, Mwalimu will jump straight to topic number 9, investment allowance. The reason why I'll jump to investment allowance, because whatever that you are going to cover here, it is basically what will affect topic number 8. When you're looking at taxation of partnership, you must know investment allowance. When you're looking at the aspect of maybe company, you must be very good with investment allowances. So it is something that will cover and affect topic number 8 a lot. So the strategy would be, after we have been introduced to the world of taxation, we are going to jump straight and check topic number 9, whereby we have to consider the investment allowances. So once we are through with this, we go back now to topic number 8, which will be our longest topic. Most of the time during this semester, we are going to spend it in topic number 8. Most of our time during this semester, we are going to spend it in topic number 8, which should be very, very ideal for us. So Looking at all this, I'm quite confident that if at all we cooperate with Mwalimu, I'm very confident that by the time we are through with all this, we will be in a very, very good position. We will be in a very, very good position. We'll be in a very, very good position. So this is the first summary. Grace, are we on the same page? Grace, tuko pamoja? Benita, are we on the same page?
Yes.
Great. Simon, are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Great. Vanessa, are we flowing on the same boat?
Yes, Mwalimu.
Great. Anne, are we on the same boat?
Yes, Mwalimu.
Meshach, are we on the same boat?
Yes, Mwalimu.
Great. So whatever that we've done, that is a basic, simple analysis of what will be expected, of course, to handle when it comes to aspect of taxation. So because I've just shared these notes in the group today, this is what Mwalimu would want to do. Even before we look at anything else, I want to give you the secret ingredient when it comes to tax. With this secret, you'll always find that tax will always be very, very, very easy. And the beauty part is that once you have this secret in your pocket, even when it comes to advanced level, your journey will be very simple. Even when it comes to advanced level, you realize that your journey will be very, very simple. So Mwalimu wants to give us the backbone of taxation, which we'll be looking at it. Of course, when we start, we'll be looking at the whole of this bit, but I want us to have in mind, and actually you can have just a whole page as we are introducing this bit, whereby anytime you are doing your, anytime you're doing your work, or anytime you're revising, you see for example, yeah, maybe as a believer, you see anytime you want to make a decision, you have to go to the Bible and see if at all the decision that you want to make, how has it been reflected in the Bible? See, so the same case, I want this to be our Bible when it comes to taxation. Anytime you are doing anytime, of course, you're doing your work, you must always make sure that you have this. So that's why I want you to have it on the first page of your book, and you can term this as what? This is the heart or backbone of taxation. Anytime you are doing your revision or work, always make sure that you always reference to this. Ones that you cannot do without. Ones that you cannot do without. Number one, you must, and I'm using the word must. For you to have a very smooth journey in tax, you must be very good when it comes to 1A, taxable and non-taxable incomes. See, allowable and non-allowable expenses. Number two, you must be able to understand taxation of investment incomes. Taxation of investment incomes, or simply taxation of other sources of income, where taxation of other sources of income, what will we be talking about? We will always be referencing these to -1 dividends income, and interest incomes. So this one is a must. Number 3, you must be very good when it comes to approaches of determining taxable income. And in this case, we normally tend to talk about 2 approaches, which would be able to understand, number 1, gross profit approach and when to use it. Number 2, be able to understand the reported profit approach, of course, and when to apply the same. Number 4, you must be very good when it comes to now the aspect to do with capital allowances. The most beautiful part is that this is part of our topics that you're going to consider, capital allowances. Then number 5, there's no way that you can escape VT, value added tax. There is no way that you can escape VAT. So I want you guys to have this in the first page of your book as the heart or simply the backbone of taxation. Because everything that you'll be doing when it comes to matters of computation in tax, this is always what we'll always be referencing to. This is always what we'll be referencing to. And the most beautiful part, again, what Mwalimu has done, say, I want to make your work as much as easier as possible. There's a document that I've also shared in the group, which I have referred to read as the basic concepts of tax. Basic concepts of tax. See this document. If possible, I can save this document on my email, then I put a star on it. I mark it as favorite. And why is Mwalimu saying this? Mwalimu is saying this because you'll find that whenever we'll be looking at this, it is because whatever that I've literally shared here, it is not only for the purpose of exams, but also when it comes to practice, then we will always be expected, of course, to have this. We'll always be expected, of course, to have this. So this is very important. This is very, very important for us to have it. This is very, very important for us to have it. See, this is very, very important for us to have it. So, listing all this as part of our backbone of tax, we will be in a very good position if you just make sure you do all that you can to master this. Do all that you can to master this. So our journey of tax will commence, or our journey of this unit, public finance and taxation, will commence on, number 1, when we will be introducing, of course, the whole bit to do with introduction to tax. I'll be tackling introduction to tax with public finance at the same time, where the first 30 or 20 minutes, I take you through public finance, then we go back to taxation. So that is what we'll be doing to make sure that at least we are in a good position by the time we clear our semester. But I can assure you one thing, that tax is a very easy and very interesting topic. Only if you open your mind wide. Yeah, we should be open-minded. We should be very, very open-minded. You'll find that tax will always be very, very easy on our end. Before I say anything, any question? Before I say anything else, any question? or where you want Mwalimu to clarify here and there, you want Mwalimu, I want you to clarify here. This is the best time to pose a question. This is the best time to pose a question. This is the best time to pose a question. Great. So, I think introducing this fully, we'll be doing this in the next segment, but I want you first of all to go through the notes for public finance because we'll be looking at it in our next segment. We can clear topic number 1 as we also introduce what? The aspects of introduction to tax. So you'll also realize, I'm not sure if at all I've shared it in the group of tax, but there's a way that we've adjusted our timetable to fit and give us chance on weekends to do revisions. So what we'll be doing, you'll find that during weekdays, of course, we look at our normal coursework. Except for company law, which is the one that has been maybe scheduled only for weekends. But all these other units, you'll find that during weekday, we do like coursework, then revisions we do on weekends. And you'll find that FR revisions is basically on Friday, but the other units we have given them a chance on weekends. The revision program is simply for us to volunteer to attend. So it is important that you attend. Won't be maybe unless we have agreed in class that a revision class, we have it for classwork, more or less we've agreed that, but most of the time you'll find that this will be purely a voluntary basis whereby when you have time, you attend class. If you miss that segment, of course, it will still be uploaded in a platform where you can still access the same. This is because the strategy is while we are doing our classes, whatever that we've done probably during that week, we have time to do revision on weekend. So if at all we continue that pace, by the time we clear our semester, you'll find that whatever that we'll be having at the end to revise, it will be very, very minimal. Whatever that we'll be having at the end to do a revision, it will be very, very minimal because we are doing our revisions on the go. So whatever that we'll be having to revise at the end of the sem, it will be very, very minimal. This will help us a lot to reduce that pressure towards the end. So if at all I've not shared, I'm going to reshare that new model of the TT that our team has prepared, which will help us to make sure that we reduce this pressure as much as we can, because in reality, as you said, we are only looking at 2.5 months to be precise. So we must be having a very, very good strategy. So to this point, guys, let us take this time to go through that document that I've shared. Go through it, so that when you meet, our work will be very, very easy. I'm also going to reshare the past paper. Probably the past paper was reshared before others joined. So I'm going to reshare the past paper with us. We have it, and we start our journey together. Very well. So, guys, I wish to see you in our next segment. No less is a very, very pressing concern or question in relation to tax. Good.